Two ship and
Mm. Yeah, two
okay.
ships for sailing, right?
Yes.
Okay, I see. And what else do you see there?
I can see the islands is growing more very developed than before. Just
Right.
a lot of things have changes. They have a very convenient service for the people to
Yes.
live.
Very good. So the island has a lot of convenient services, facilities, or you can say infrastructure for people to live. Very good. That's nice. So the first thing that we need to do here is write the introduction. So I think that's very easy because what we need to do is to simply follow the order of information and paraphrase, right? So we have learned this writing the introduction back in our previous lessons, right? So and in here, we have learned that the order of information starts with starting, the graph, the purpose, the time, and measurement. But for maps, process, and diagrams, there there are no time and measurements. Okay, and I have shared this to you. The useful words and phrases to use for synonyms, which I think you have memorized pretty well, and I'm very happy about that. Right. So first, the introduction. Okay, so here as you can see, we check here in the graph. First, again, the introduction here says the map shows the transformation of a certain island after adding some facilities for tourist attractions. So let us check here the synonyms. Okay, I'm gonna ask Xiang, what synonyms can you find here in the introduction to the topic? Okay, can you tell me the synonyms you can find, Xiang?
Mm, I can see the transformation
Mm.
and, and the um
Yeah, so transformation is is synonymous to
before
after,
and
before and after. Yes, very good. And then what
of
else?
a certain island.
Yeah, certain island. Okay, so that's an island. Okay, and what else?
Mm, of facilities and
Uh,
construction.
yes, facilities. All right, tourist attraction, tourist facilities. All right, very good, very easy. So basically, we just have to follow the order of information. Plus, we have to use synonyms. So that's gonna make our what is that? Our introduction pretty much very easy to make. All right. So next, let's move on to writing the overview. So if you may ask, how to write an overview in map? Okay, so first thing we need to identify are the noticeable changes that have taken place at present time or future that will occur in the future. All right. So let's check here an example overview. And next one is we have to identify as well the general changes. So general, not specific. All right. So let's check here an example overview. All right. So what are the most obvious changes in the map? It's very clear, right? How about Trump? Can you tell me what are the most obvious changes in the map?
The obvious change in here that the facilities had been
Mm,
changed.
very good. Okay, so very clear, right? So there has been what is it? Facilities that have been added in the island. Okay, very clear. And next, how has the island changed after building the tourist facilities? Fong, how has it changed? How has it developed?
There are
Developed.
more.
Yes.
The developed. So the is become more convenient
Mm.
for people to live with lots of service
Services,
to
right? So
do,
it
services to do.
very good. So it has developed significantly, right? So there is a significant development
Yeah.
or there is a dramatic improvement, okay, in the island, okay, after
Okay.
building some tourist facilities. Very good, perfect. So Yes, it says here, yes, it has significant developments. So which is why, oh, before we have the overview, can you tell me, Xiang, how many features that were built after converting it to a tourist attraction? So can you count the number of features that have been added?
Let me see.
Okay, sure, no problem. Just count.
Maybe 4.
Okay, maybe 4. Okay, let us count. Okay, so there is a pier, there is reception, there is restaurant, there is accommodation, there is maybe beach for swimming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see how many. Okay. It says here 6. Okay, so there is a footpath and vehicle track, right? So probably there are 6 features that have been added. Okay, after it has been converted to a tourist attraction. So what are the general changes here? All right. So what are the 2 general developments in the island? So the first one is accommodation. So places to live. So look at this one, okay? Accommodation, okay? Or places to live, all right? This is accommodation, places to live and eat, all right? That's the first one. And the second general change here is access to tourists. Why? Because there is pier, all right? So if you have to underscore this one, this is access to tourists because there is a pier, all right? And there's also a footpath and vehicle track, all right? So it has given or provided access to tourists. Okay, so therefore, our introduction here is, it is clear that the island has significant developments. Okay, so again, we have to identify the development that have taken place in the present or will occur in the future. All right. After converting it to a tourist place and adding 6 new features. And after that, we have to identify the general changes. All right. So the general developments are that the island provides accommodation and access to tourists. Okay, easy overview. Okay. All right. So again, to recall, all right. So first thing we need to do is to identify the noticeable changes that have taken place at present or will occur in the future. All right. And the general changes, absolutely not the specific changes. All right. So let us check here. Let us check here an example of the map. All right. So we can see here now the map. So what is the most, if you check the map here, I think I gave you the file here, Xiang, Chom, and Fong, right? So you can check the PDF file that you have printed or saved in your computer. I'm going to ask you here, what is the most noticeable change here? Can you identify? Let's see. Fong, can you identify
Okay.
the most obvious change in this map?
Okay. So, uh, it can be seen in the map for after 15 years. There are more convenient service like airplane, train,
Airports, yeah.
airport, railway stations, and
Mhm.
ferry to for people to develop their life.
Right, exactly. So
Yeah.
what is that? The most noticeable change there for you, right? According to your observation, is that there has been additional, what is that? Convenience, right? Or convenient, what is that? Infrastructures, okay, for
Yeah.
people to live. All right. How about Xiang? What are the most noticeable change that you have noticed in this map?
I think that there's a new railway. There is a new railway
Mhm.
and more buildings.
Yeah, more buildings, more apartment buildings, right? More flats. Okay, so that's what you notice. And here, The answer here is that the town has undergone significant expansion. It becomes bigger, all right? So as you can see here, all right, so why has it undergone significant expansion? So as you can see here, from small residential area, so right, let us check here. This is small house, all right, and then it has expanded. Okay, so by the way, guys, when you write an overview, it must be general. Okay, do not, just like in writing task 1, no figures. Okay, and in writing task 1 also, map, diagrams, no details. All right, so don't say that there is a railway, shopping mall, etc. Those are details. So think of something bigger. All right, so it has a significant expansion. And another thing you observe here is, look at the school. All right, so the school before was smaller, and now there is a lot of schools. All right, that's it. And also before it was vegetation. Before it was vegetation, and now they have added factory. All right, and before all our houses, and after that, after in 2005, they have added a grocery store and more apartment buildings. Okay, so therefore this map here has undergone significant expansion. All right. Okay, so next here we have to answer here is how about Trump? What is the general change that you have observed in the map? What is the general change that you have observed in the map?
The general change is
Just in your observation, yes. From your observation, what is the general change in the map?
wait. I think that the generally change in here that everything be modernized.
Ah,
And
okay.
the infrastructure will be a new more place be art.
Great. So from your observation, the general change here is that the infrastructure has become more modernized, right?
Yes.
Okay, very interesting. So again, yes, the general change here is that it develops to an industrial area from a small residential community. So you can say like more commercial community. What is that? More modern, if you want to say that again. So what is that? It develops from a small residential community to a more modern facilities or community. Okay. Very good. So therefore, our example overview here says it can be clearly seen that in a span of 15 years. Okay, so as you can see, we have to check the time here. All right. So as we can see that in a span of 15 years, that's 1990. So we have to use synonyms in 2005. Right, the town of Brinslow had undergone expansion from a small residential community into an industrial districts. Okay, so that's easy for the overview. Again, we have to identify the noticeable change, the bigger one, not a smaller one, no details. All right, and the general changes, that means not specific changes. Okay, so let's move on now to grouping of information. All right, so how do you group the information in map? Okay, so we have learned in data essays in the past on how we group the information, right? So I think you have learned that, but here also there is another way to group the information. So how to do that? Body paragraph 1. Okay, body paragraph 1, we have to group them before and after. All right. And body paragraph 2 as well, before and after. So do not write body paragraph 1, map 1, body paragraph 2, map 2. Don't do that, okay? Instead, you have to divide before and after, okay? So body paragraph 1, before and after. On the northwestern side, northeastern side, before and after. And then on the southwestern northeast and southwest, for example, you divide that before and after, but you shouldn't divide them map 1, body 1, map 2, body 2. Don't do that, okay? So here is an example. So as you can see, there is a direction here. There is a north, okay? Upper one, to the right is west, to the left is west, to the right is east, and to the bottom is south, all right? So how we divide the information? Body paragraph 1, southeast and northeast. So we have to divide, okay? So we have to write our body paragraph 1, all right? So our body paragraph 1, southeast, okay? Southeast, all right? This is our body paragraph 1, and northeast, all right? B1, okay? So maybe this part, okay? Maybe this part. So you have to you have to think that you shouldn't write map 1 body 1, map 2 body 2. Okay, how about body paragraph 2? All right, so we have here southwest, okay, circle, all right? Body paragraph 2, southwest and northwest, all right? So this is our body paragraph 2, this area here. Compare and contrast, what happened, okay? What changes that have happened, all right? So we have to do the changes, additions, developments on a particular location of the map, as I've said, before and after, okay? That's clear, all right? So let's delete, okay? So let's have an example here, okay? Let's have an example here. Fuang, can you read the example by the paragraph 1?
If we look at the developments east of the city center, it can be seen that the trees in the southeast were knocked down to make way for a new airport, and the houses just north of this area were replaced by
Skyscrapers, one more time.
as a skyscraper.
Mhm.
For the north, the old church was demolished, and by 2010, a new pub had been built in its place.
Very good. So we can start by saying this expression here. If you look at the developments east of the city center, okay? So we start at the east, all right? Here. It can be seen that the trees in the southeast were knocked down, okay, here. So the trees were knocked down, all right? To make way for new airport, to make way for new airport. And the houses just north of this area, so this is just north of this area, this one, all right, so were replaced by skyscrapers, okay? Skyscrapers meaning very, very tall building. Further north, so if you go further north, all right, just this one, all right, the old church was demolished, okay? So this was demolished, all right? And by 2010, a new pub had been built in its place. Oh my God, okay? So they changed the church into a pub, all right? That's it. So basically our first body paragraph simply talks about what changes and developments that have happened before and after, okay? So that easy. Let's move on to body paragraph 2. So Xiang, can you read body paragraph 2?
In the center itself, the main road was pedestrianized and a new station was constructed across the road. From the southern station, a new football stadium was also erected to the west of the old station, across from which stands a new shopping center, which had replaced the factory by 2010.
2010.
2010. Finally, apartment blocks now exist in place of the old northwestern forest, which was cut down after 1990. 5.
5. Right. So here in the city center itself, this is city center. All right. The main road was pedestrianized. So pedestrianized means no cars can enter. Okay, no cars can enter, only people. So that's pedestrianized. All right. And a new station was constructed across, okay, across the road from the southern station. So there is a new station that has been constructed, all right, across the road from the southern station. So here, all right. So this is from the southern station. Across from it, so there is a new station that has been constructed. This one. A new football stadium was also erected to the west of the old station. So a new football stadium was erected to the west. All right, here. Across from which stands a new shopping center. So across from which here stands a new shopping center, which had replaced the factory. So which had replaced the factory by 2010. Finally, apartment blocks now exist in place of the northwestern forest. Again, so this is a northwestern, and this was the northwestern forest, and this has been replaced by apartment blocks, right? And the trees were cut down. Okay. So that easy for a map, all right? So we have to, again, this is the second body paragraph, body paragraph 2, all right? And we talk about this, the changes before and after 1995 and 2010, okay? So let's now move on to vocabs, all right? So language of location, I'd like you to memorize them, okay? So here are the language of location: above, below, in the middle, in the center, right? To the north, to the south, east, west, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you have to say to the north. Okay, not in the north, on the north, but to the north, to the east, to the west. All right. So remember that. Okay. And at the top, at the bottom, inside, outside, next to, between A and B, beside, close to. So you have to memorize the vocabs. All right. Yeah. So changes in maps. So we have changes in maps. All right. Here. Before that, guys, I'd like you to memorize. Let's have first a memory test. Okay. And I'd like you to be very honest. All right. So I know you have a copy there of your notes. So be very honest. Okay. I'd like you to memorize at least 10 language of location and change and send your answer to a private message. All right. So again, there are 10. There are 10 language of location, and what you need to do is to memorize. Oh, no, there are 15. I'm sorry. Yes. So there are 15 language of location, or 12. Yes. So there are 12 language of location, and what you need to do is to memorize at least 10. Or if you can memorize 12, that's good. All right. So I'd like you to memorize them in 2 minutes. Okay. And send the answer to a private message in Zoom chat message icon. Okay. So you can check your notes there, 2 minutes. And again, I'd like you to be very honest. Don't look at your notes after 2 minutes. All right. So let's have a memory test for 2 minutes. All right, so you have 30 seconds to finish memorizing at least 10 words and phrases to describe language of location.
Teacher, can you can I see yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so time is up. Please send your message. Okay, I'd like it to be very honest, all right? So please send, oops, please send your answers to the chat box, all right? For another 1 minute. Okay, send all, okay? Send all.
Okay.
Yeah. Please don't send one by one, okay?
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Time is up. Let me give you 1 more minute, okay? 1 more minute. Okay, so we have here Trump. Very good. You get 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Very good, Trump. From 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10.
Okay, very good. But I'd like you to check the spelling for west, okay?
Okay.
Okay, this is spelling for west, all right?
Okay, thank you.
And how about Zhang?
I have sent to your.
Oh, really? Very quick, huh?
Oh, wait.
No,
You
I
sent
yeah.
to me. I sent to Trump. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Oh my God. Okay, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, perfect. Very good. So if we have a language of location to describe a map, right? So we also have language of expansion, all right? The development, okay? Language of the what is that? Changes in maps, right? So the changes here can be expanding, removing, additions, and change into something. So what are these language of changes in maps? So we have here one to, okay, let's just, okay, this one. We have expanding, enlarge, expanded, extended, made bigger, developed, right? Removing, demolished, knocked down, pull down, remove, torn down, and cut down for trees and plants only. And the additions, we have constructed, built, erected, introduced, added, planted, planted forests and trees, and changed into something. We have converted, redeveloped, replaced, made into, modernized, and renovated, okay? So same thing, let's have memory tests. So there are 5, 6, 6, 6. So I'd like you to memorize 3, all right, for expanding, 4 for removing, for additions, and 4 for change into something. Okay, 4, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4. Okay. Okay, so I know that you have good brain power. So I'd like it. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. All right. Since this is quite a lot, so I'm gonna extend the time. So I'll give you 3 minutes to memorize the vocabs, changes in maps. Okay, expanding, removing, additions, and change into something. Okay, so 3, 4, 4, 4. Timer starts now. All right, so you have 15 seconds to finish memorizing the vocabs, changes in maps. Okay, so I'd like to be very honest. Please write, okay? Write 3, 4, 4, 4. 3 for expanding, 3 for removing, 3 for additions, no, 4 for removing, 4 for additions, and 4 for change into something. And I'm going to give you 2 minutes to write the answers. Okay, so we have here one from, okay. Okay, okay, that's okay. Fuang. Okay, Tram. Okay. Okay, 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 okay. Very good. Jiang. Okay, 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 okay. Very good. Okay, good job. Okay, good job. Okay, so Fong, I'd like you to send your answer, right? Okay, that's good. Okay, so we're done. Now let's move on to let's now move on to guided practice. Okay, so at least today we're going to finish here introduction. All right, introduction, overview, and body paragraph 1. Okay, at least that, only that. Okay, and then you will have your homework. Okay. So here we have here the so we have here the maps below show the town of Langley in 1910 and 1950. So you have to check, okay, for how many years is that, okay? Okay, let me check for. Okay, very good. All clear. Very good, very good. All right. So 1910, 1950. That's about 40 years, right? Yes, about 4 decades. So you have to change that. Find synonyms, okay? And here we have to write the introduction and overview. So let's begin first with writing the introduction. So you have to use synonyms and follow the order of information. Okay, so this is again map of Langley, 1910 and 1950. That's 4 decades, all right? After 40 years or 4 decades, all right? And follow the order of information. So what you need to do is to write the introduction and overview. So overview here. You have to state that there were a number of noticeable changes. You don't need to mention like how many changes, right? You don't need to count, but if there are a lot of changes, okay, so again, take note, if there are a lot of changes that happens in the map or that transpire in the map, you don't need to count them, okay? So you can use the words like dramatic, significant, okay? What is that? Yes, yeah, you can say dramatic, significant improvements, or you can use a number of, or several. Okay, so you can use several, a number of, significant, etc. If there are a lot of improvements that happen in the map, okay? And then that's it. Okay, so we don't need to. We only have to mention there. We only have to mention there again the changes, okay, that have transpired in the present and will occur in the future. But I think here is will occur in the future. All right, and you only have to mention there, since there are many changes there, you don't need to mention like what are those changes. Okay, so let us write the introduction about it and overview. So I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to 2 minutes to write introduction and overview. Okay, and then send your answer to a private message to me. All right, so I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to do this task.
Teacher.
Yes, Trump.
Langley is the name of the town, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Name of a town here. This one. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna give you 1 more minute. Right. Please refer. All right. Please refer to the example introduction that I have made in the 2 maps. All right, and also example overview. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna give you 1 more minute to finish writing both the introduction and the overview. Okay, so I got an answer here. Let's see who got this one. Okay, Fong, I'd like you to send both intro and overview, okay? Very good. But you just have to, Fong, check the capitalization, okay? That's the name of a place, Langley. So you have to capitalize, all right? So you can see here the maps illustrate the transformation of Langley and Langley after 4 decades, yes. So you can add here after 4 decades from 1910 to 1950. This one, okay? So Fong, I have sent the corrected introduction, okay? All right, so make your overview short. 1 sentence is enough, all right? So, okay, good. Okay, so I'm gonna send here Jiang, the corrected one, okay? So you can say the development, okay? So instead of saying changes, you can say development, okay? Development. Or you can say development, improvement, all right? And by the way, guys, for your overview, it is always in a present tense, all right? Okay, very good. And here, Tron, let me check. Right, okay, yes. So you can say from a small village, okay, to a modern town. To a modern town. Okay, this is okay, Trump. From a small village to a modern town. Okay. And Fong, let me just check, all right. Well, okay, it is directly observed. So spelling for observed, all right? Observed. And overview again, always present tense for the overview, okay? Okay, good. All right. So take note of my corrections, okay? Very good. So next is we have to develop our first body paragraph, okay? So before we go home, first is let's develop our first body paragraph. First is grouping of information. The body paragraph 1, the major changes that took place after 1910. Okay, and body paragraph 2, same thing, major changes that took place after 1910. So you have to check here. All right, so there is no direction here like north or south. Okay, so yes, you can say you can divide. Okay, the major changes. All right, maybe this one. All right, first body paragraph and second body paragraph, or you can check this one as your first body paragraph, this one, and second body paragraph is here. It depends on you actually. Okay, so it depends on what is that, how you divide or group your information. But anyway, um, let me just guide you to write the body paragraph. Okay, so here, body paragraph 1, first sentence is state that in 1910, okay, the area was a mix of residential and industrial. Why is it a mix? Okay, as you can see, there is a townhouse and a factory. So townhouses makes it residential, okay, and factory makes this town industrial, okay. And then this industrial area has disappeared. So that is your first sentence. So it's the same as data essay. Your first sentence must be general comparison, no figure, no detail, but just general comparison. All right. And how, again, how most of the industrial area largely disappeared. That is your first sentence. Okay, so you can take a screenshot. All right. And then second sentence here. All right, so the second sentence here is state the changes of the railway area in 1910 to 1950. All right, so you can check here the railway area, this one, the railway line. So, okay. So state the changes of the railway area in 1910 to 1950. So railway workers cottages, yeah, this one. All right, so this is the railway area, wasteland, railway workers cottages, and railway line, and what changes that have happened, okay, after 4 decades in this area compared to, yeah, in 1950 here. Yeah, that's your second sentence. And then your third sentence here, state how the townhouses have been changed from 1910 to 1950. All right, let's just erase this part here. Let's just focus on the railway area, cannot the wasteland. So here, okay, railway area. All right, it's one. All right. And third sentence, you can take a screenshot. State how the townhouses have been changed from 1910 to 1950 and that the wasteland have disappeared. So as you can see, this is the townhouses. All right. It has disappeared. All right. No, it has been changed. All right. To what? Bigger apartment blocks. Okay. So, or flats. So flats here, maybe a 5-story building. All right. And that the wasteland have disappeared. So no more wasteland here after 4 decades. All right. That's your third sentence. Okay, so only 3 sentences, all right? So let's do this in 5 minutes, all right? First body paragraph only. And you have to use the language of location and changes in maps, all right? So let's do this in 5 minutes.
Teacher,
Astram, Fong.
can I see the first sentence, the
Sure.
general?
This
Okay,
one.
thank you.
Sure. All right, I'll give you 2 more minutes. All right, I'll give you 2 more minutes to finish the task. Okay, so we have an answer here. Let us check. So this is from Trump. Okay, let me check. Okay, let us check here, Trump. Okay, this is good start. So you can say spacious. Okay, avoid using simple words Trump. Okay, so instead of using big, just say spacious. Okay.
Yes.
Because that's too simple. But yes, this is a good essay. And then grammar, subject verb agreement. The townhouses have been removed. Okay, good. Very good. This is great. Good job. This is great. Okay, let me have. Okay, let's have another 2 minutes. All right. For Fong and Xiang to finish. Now, Tram, your homework is you have to finish body paragraph 2. Okay. So I'm going to write there our schedule. Okay, this is Fong. All right. Okay. So let's check here. Looking into the details. In the past. It was not done to replace the park. Okay. Now done to build. Okay. To build the park and children area. So change this part here, Fong, right? And spelling for opposites, okay?
Yeah, a teacher and opposite it were stores, and there is a new road had been added between them.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
I wrote
and opposite the stores.
some
Nope.
missing word.
The stores. Okay. Is a new road. Okay. Is a new road that had been added between them. Okay, that's it. So that's it, Fong. And then Xiang. Okay, here. Okay, Xiang.
Teacher,
Yes, Fong.
can I ask you what is the line between the park and children areas?
Yeah, I'd like you to change that. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. Change, I mean, add something because it's too long.
Okay.
Your sentence is very long, so try to cut. Okay. Try
Okay.
to make a pause and change that into, like, you can use conjunctions. Okay, so try to make a pause, right? Because sentence is quite long. All right. We're gone. Okay. And 40-year-old had been removed and in 1950. Okay, Zhang, avoid using a simple sentence. Had been moved. Had not transferred, but converted to a new and modern flat. Okay, good. This is good, Zhang, all right? So Zhang, take note of my correction. Number one is avoid using a simple sentence, all right? So try to make a complex sentence, as we have learned, right, in our grammar. And transferred is not in the vocabs, right? So not in the vocabs changes in the maps. So only the word convert, all right? So you can use the word convert or made into, all right? So not transferred, okay? Made into or convert. Okay, so let us have here an example answer, right? Before we go home and do our homework. So here the depicted maps show the town of Langley and its urban developments that occur in 1950. Noticeable changes overall. There were a number of notable changes to the buildings and amenities of this area. And by the paragraph 1, in 1910, the area had a combination of residential and industrial features, but by 1950, the industrial features had largely disappeared. When in 1910 a railway line ran through the neighborhood, by 1950 this had been removed. Furthermore, the townhouses which used to dominate the 1910 map had been replaced by blocks of flats by 1950, and the areas of wasteland had gone. So by the way, guys, what is that, for writing task 1 map, all right, take note of the past perfect tense, right? Had largely disappeared, had been removed, okay, and had been replaced, all right, and had gone, all right? So take note of the past perfect tense. So we have to use past perfect tense in writing task 1 map, because we talk changes in the past, 2 things that happened in the past, all right? So 2 things happened in the past. That is why we had to use past perfect tense. Anyway, later on we will review how to use past perfect tense, but in the meantime, I'd like you to check first the example essay and how the past perfect tense grammar had been used, okay, in writing task 1 map. Okay, so you can see here, you can compare the answer to the what is that, to the map given here. So before we go home, let us have first our homework, right? So let's not, your first homework is to do the second body paragraph, right? And I'm not do this one, continue the second body paragraph. And after that, I'd like you to do on your own, which is another map here. So you have to write a complete essay based on the map here. Okay, so you have 2 homeworks. Anyway, we're gonna meet on Tuesday. All right, so you still have a long time to prepare. All right, so I'd like you to focus on the quality of your answer. Okay, so in the meantime, we will not have a test on Tuesday. All right, for map, maybe our test will be on Thursday for maps. All right, so right now, next meeting Tuesday, we focus on grammar and speaking. Okay, grammar and speaking, and your homework should be submitted before Tuesday. Okay, all right. So do you have any questions before we end our class? Do you have any questions before we end our class?
No.
No questions. Okay, so I think your dinner is ready, right?
No.
No. Okay, so my dinner is ready, so see you next time. Okay, all right, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Bye everyone. Pong is not here.